Shootez-moi! Shootez-moi!
Je suis bien équipé. Moi je sens rien du tout.
Tu parles anglais? Non?
Mais après je peux pas me dire plus.
En plus, on n'a pas le droit avec nous.
Ça va?
Ah Cyril, les artères sont débouchées là. Tiens, avance.
Monsieur, je peux vous demander pourquoi vous manifestez?
On manifeste, monsieur. On a le droit parce qu'on est des citoyens. Aujourd'hui, on a des revendications à poser, donc on a besoin d'être entendus.
He's saying that, je vais traduire parce que c'est une chaîne anglophone. He's saying that he's protesting because he's a citizen, that he wants to be heard. Quelles sont vos revendications?
Alors c'est un ras-le-bol général, hein, au-delà de la taxe sur le carburant. C'est une augmentation générale des taxes, mais bien au-delà, c'est qu'à un moment donné, les Français ne peuvent plus vivre.
He says he's generally fed up with taxes on fuel, and that generally is becoming harder and harder for the French people to get by. So we're coming to you live from Paris at the Arc de Triomphe. Earlier when we did another Facebook Live, we were at the other side of the Champs-Élysées, near Place de la Concorde, and the police have been gradually moving the protesters away, pushing them back towards the Arc de Triomphe. The situation got tense at several moments, and it seems now that a lot of these protesters are coming towards the Arc de Triomphe to gather here, but most of them are still on the Champs-Élysées. We're going to try to go back there. Earlier we had to move away because there's just too much tear gas, and it's a very tense situation. The people we spoke to say they're fed up with the taxes, they're fed up with the cost of living, and the target of their anger is President Emmanuel Macron. They believe that he doesn't work for the French people. They say that he's the president of the rich, and they feel left behind. And that's why they're here in Paris protesting today. This location was not, they weren't authorized to protest here, but they came nevertheless, because initially the government told them that they could protest at the foot of the Eiffel Tower, but many of these protesters disagree with that location, and that's why they came to the Champs-Élysées. We're gonna go, as you can see, this is just walking down the Champs-Élysées right now towards where the largest group of protesters is. And you see some fires have been started here. These are streets on the side of the Champs-Élysées, and here at the foot of the Arc de Triomphe, you can really see and smell the smoke from the tear gas. various times they were shouting Macron démission, which means Macron resign. Been singing the national anthem a lot. You have to remember, a lot of these people believe they're representing the French people, and they want to be heard today. They want it to be heard by Emmanuel Macron. The problem is with this movement, they don't have a leader, they don't have a central structure, so that's why the organization of this event has been divided. And here's the Arc de Triomphe right there, and this is the Champs-Élysées, which is pretty much cleared now. It seems like a lot of these protesters went to the nearby streets, in the side streets. You can see a large group of them over there still. Let's try to get closer and see what's going on. Things seem to have calmed down a bit. You can see there's a very heavy police presence at the Arc de Triomphe. They're not letting the protesters go there. This man over there says he wants his democracy now. Let's see if he speaks English. Let's ask him a few questions. Excuse me, do you speak English?
Just a little bit, ouais.
Est-ce qu'on pourrait vous poser une question en français alors?
Oui.
Vous pouvez enlever votre masque, hein, ça va pour respirer.
Oui.
J'en ai pas moi-même. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous dire pourquoi vous manifestez ici aujourd'hui?
D'abord, vous êtes pour quelle télévision?
Pour Euronews, pardon.
Euronews,
on est en Facebook Live là.
Bah écoutez, pour beaucoup de choses, malheureusement pour beaucoup trop de choses, déjà, bon, en résumé, il y a 1000 milliards d'euros de taxes en France qui sont prélevés sur toute la population française.
Et malheureusement, 1,000 billion taxes they're taken every year from the French people.
Et nous n'avons aucune, il n'y a aucune transparence sur cette somme où est tout cet argent qui est investi. Voilà.
He says there's no transparency as to where that money is going.
Récemment, la dernière taxe qui a fait déborder le vase consiste à lutter pour l'écologie, mais ça fait 30 ans qu'en France qu'il n'y a pas de politique de l'écologie et de technologie pour l'écologie.
He says that the last tax that Emmanuel Macron took, which actually triggered this movement, was taken for ecological transition and for the environment, but he says that they've been doing that for 30 years in France already. And things don't change. C'est chaud aujourd'hui quand même la manif, non? Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez de la manifestation?
Elle est dégueulasse.
Pourquoi? He says that the demonstration is disgusting, but I'm asking him why he says that.
Parce que le soi-disant président Macron parle de dialogue, mais voilà sa réponse au dialogue vis-à-vis de la population française.
He says that Emmanuel Macron promised dialogue, but instead of dialogue, he sent
Et nous sommes plusieurs fonctionnaires à manifester, car ce gouvernement...
Vous êtes vous-même fonctionnaire?
Oui, oui.
He says he's a public worker. A lot of public workers are here today.
Et juste pour vous dire que l'indice, enfin notre indice de salaire est gelé depuis 2010. Okay. Idem pour la police.
He says that his salary has been frozen since 2010, and it's the same thing for police. Merci.
Et juste pour finir, il y a beaucoup trop d'élus, il n'y a aucune transparence financière sur l'IRFM et les enveloppes que touchent les élus. Voilà. La corruption se trouve là. Malheureusement, la France est un pays corrompu comme l'Italie et bien d'autres pays.
He says that there are too many representatives and that they're paid too much. Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Thanks. Have a show and good day.
So we're at the heart of the Yellow Vest protest in central Paris, at the foot of the Arc de Triomphe, at the end of the Champs-Élysées, where they've been gathering since this morning. Things got as of 10, and there's more tear gas being thrown now. Protesters are moving back or throwing the tear gas back at police. You see the big cloud over there. And this has been pretty much going on for 2 or 3 hours now. And these protesters have their hands in the air to show that they're non-violent. And that's a message a lot of them wanted to echo today, because clearly there's been a bit of violence, but most of these protesters were peaceful and wanted to be heard. Most of them say they're tired with their cost of living and they dislike Emmanuel Macron. More tear gas is being thrown. I'm going to move away. Tear gas is really raining down on protesters now. Guy has a pretty good kick. This other one kicked it back.
C'est pas le moment.
We're gonna keep on moving away. You can see the tear gas is really coming from all sides now. Trying to push the protesters back. I don't know where exactly. There's a large group right here. So a lot of your questions are about why they're protesting. Well, initially, this movement started months ago on social media, but the first demonstration they had was last week, a week ago exactly, on the 17th of November. And initially they were protesting against the price of fuel and the new tax that the government took on fuel in order to, they say, smooth an ecological transition. But this was the bridge too far for these protesters. They believe they pay too much taxes already, and that it's very hard for them to make ends meet. And so on social media, there was a call last week for a protest. We protested here last week, and then protests have continued all throughout the week, throughout France. They've been blocking roads, they've been demonstrating at tax offices, at shopping malls, at highway toll stations, to really express their anger at the cost of living and their anger at Emmanuel Macron, the French president. Excuse me, do you speak English? No? Français, on peut me poser une question pour Euronews? So I'm going to interview this. Je vais traduire à chaque fois que donc essayez de garder vos réponses courtes. Est-ce que vous pouvez vous présenter d'abord?
Maïlis. Maï, on m'appelle Maï.
Okay. Pourquoi est-ce que vous manifestez ici aujourd'hui?
Pour tous les droits qu'on a perdus, pour les taxes qu'on nous impose alors qu'on n'impose pas les riches, pour tout ça.
Saying that she's protesting for all the rights that they've lost and for all the taxes that they've been that they have to pay. And they say that the rich in France don't have to pay these taxes. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez de la manifestation?
On voulait pas que ça se passe comme ça. On savait qu'on se ferait gazer, mais on voulait pas nous casser.
She said she didn't want the demonstration to happen like this. She knew that there were probably going to be some tear gas, but they didn't want to get to this. And she has to go away because she doesn't want to lose her friends. Merci. the Eiffel Tower there in the background, and people continue to converge towards this square where the Arc de Triomphe is. So they've set up some sort of barricade here on this roundabout. And well, I think the images speak for themselves. These guys are shouting something that I'm not going to translate. For those of you who speak French, you can probably understand. I'm going to move away again because the tear gas is... So this is what the protest looks like. Again, there's been a few acts like this, but the majority of the people were here just demonstrating and marching on the Champs-Élysées to express their anger at the taxes and the cost of living here in France. And they've had different attitudes towards the police. Sometimes they seem to be more confrontational, and other times they were saying la police avec nous, so the police with us. And, let's go back to the Champs-Élysées to see if there are still protesters there. Sorry for the noise, but as I said, there's a lot of tear gas, and it's really difficult to breathe. So yes, some people have, some of you are reacting, and the majority of these people tell us they're protesting because of the taxes and the cost of living in France. Well, it's a general anger towards the government and towards Emmanuel Macron, who's perceived by many of them as a president detached of people's everyday concerns. No, the police is not part of the protest. They're here to maintain order, so to speak. But no, they're not part of the protest. Some protesters would like them to be, and there have been calls for the police to join them, but so far they haven't. So, well, I think I see in the back over there, there are still some yellow vests at the other end of the Champs-Élysées. I don't know if you can see with this phone. I'm going to try to put the phone up. And you can see that really the whole street is yellow. So it's unclear now what's going to happen. The official meeting point that the authorities gave to the protesters was at 2 o'clock on the Champ de Mars. That's at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. But they refused to go there. They wanted to be at symbolic places like this place, like the Champs-Élysées. I'm gonna just show this sign. She says, "I'm humanity, I'm democracy. Always more, always faster. To control, to censor, to pressure, to fire, to suicide, depression." Do you speak English?
Little.
No? En français, qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire par cette pancarte?
Qui contrôle la police et par les ordres.
Pardon?
J'ai servi 5 ans dans la police. il y a longtemps.
Et
On suit les ordres.
so
Les
she's saying that she
journalistes-
worked for the police for 5 years and that she just had to stay quiet and
Les
obey orders.
journalistes, pareil, ils ont la pression.
Et vous faites partie des manifestants aujourd'hui?
Oui.
Pourquoi? Pourquoi vous manifestez?
Parce que c'est une dictature de la finance depuis des années.
She says she's protesting because it's a dictatorship of finance and it's been going on for several years.
Monsieur Macron est un dictateur en puissance.
And
il
Emmanuel
sert-
Macron
il-
is a dictator.
Il sert ces dictateurs de la finance en puissance.
Pourquoi? Comment est-ce qu'il fait ça?
Parce que c'est un ancien banquier.
So I asked her why she says that Macron is a dictator. She says that because he's a former banker himself. He's working for finance. And vous avez l'impression qu'il laisse un peu tomber les Français?
Bah, il laisse tomber les Français pour s'occuper des très très riches. C'est ses copains.
She says that Emmanuel Macron is leaving the French people aside in order to take care. Here we are. Sorry, I seem to have lost connection, but so you see the protesters have different things to say. A lot of them protest against the taxes and against the cost of living, and she said that she was protesting against Emmanuel Macron, and she believes that he represents the finance world and not the French people. So this is going to be the end of our second live for Facebook, for Euronews. Again, to recap, as of 10 o'clock this morning, protesters in yellow vest started arriving here at the Champs-Élysées. They come from all over France. Some of them traveled all night to come here to express their anger at different things. Initially, it was the price of fuel that they were protesting against, and now it's really turned into a movement protesting the cost of living, protesting Emmanuel Macron. It's unclear at this stage what will happen with this movement. They call this the second act, but will it become a structured movement? Will it become a force in French political life? Or will it just be a brief moment, a brief movement? We'll probably have to wait and see. There are protests going on all over France today. The protesters were divided as to what to do today. Some of them believe that it was important to be here in Paris because this is the heart of French political power, and they wanted to give them a big show of strength, while others believed it was necessary to stay local, to stay in their homes and continue the movement there, continue the protests that have been going on for a week now. And now it's 1 o'clock, and the protesters seem to be scattered across different areas of Paris. A lot of them are here, but a lot of them have been pushed back to side streets. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back if there's anything new.